It's not often I'll do this. I've been running this channel for a year now, a little more than a year. I'll probably never make a video like this again. I realize I've been bitching a lot, and I realize I may have said some pretty hurtful things. Probably not, but maybe. But at the end of the day, I have to be honest. There's no point pretending that the world we currently live in isn't a disaster. I'm not even mad anymore. Not really. Just disappointed. I've been thinking, and I realize that even a melancholic pessimist like myself needs a bit of juice to carry on. So, I'm going to give you guys a bit of optimism for next year. I'm not going to give you any false hope. I'm not going to feed you any bullshit. I'm just going to give it to you straight. We're not fixing the world today. And all you can realistically hope for is a bit of peace in your own surrounding environment. Everyone has these crazy goals every new year, and most people fail. I'm of the mind that you should just change every day instead of waiting for January 1st like it's a magical day. If you have to wait for January 1st, you probably already have the wrong mindset. So what I've done is I've made the easiest possible goals that anyone can accomplish. Not only that, but it's going to be better advice than any optimist can give. Seriously, go scour the internet after you've heard me lecture you and point to me any other person with better self-improvement tips. You won't find it. I'm a pessimist, but I do know what kind of poison works best. Yes, I believe that the universe is eternal and that we'll basically experience a slow degrade forever, and that generally gets worse, and that consciousness will always be isolated and trapped eternally. Yes, it is rather unfortunate, but at least we perceive life just once, so it could be just a bit worse. Now, keep in mind that my personal beliefs are as anti-nihilistic as possible, even more than religious people or stoics or spiritual hippies. So here's some realistic, optimistic truths you can think about that might help your mindset going forward. First, you're the glitch in the universe. You're the nasty error that won't go away. Consciousness, it's so exceptionally rare that humanity might be a single instance, just like one angry bug per universal epoch. You're gonna die anyway, but before you do, you can do it your way while giving everyone else the middle finger. Nothing else can do that. You're like a mosquito to the universe, and it just can't seem to get rid of you. You're a parasite. But that's also kind of a superpower. You weren't meant to exist. The religious will tell you that you have a grand purpose, that existence is meaningful. No. Against entropy, against all probability, even against God himself, you force your way into existence. And maybe your life sucks, but again, you're gonna die anyway. Maybe you exist just to tell the universe to fuck off. You're that voice. Most matter is blindly crashing into each other. You get to stare back, for better or worse. You're a bug in the system. So stop living so quietly. Go express yourself. Nothing else can and nobody else will do it for you. With that being said, your little victories matter more, not less. Religious people say that heaven lasts forever. They want to blindly obey. Optimists say that we'll achieve progress. Nihilists say that nothing matters, just give up. Stoics say just quietly take it in the ass. Even absurdists want some kind of blind defiance. Guys, Sisyphus was a bitch. You can't even spell Sisyphus without spelling sissy. I think that alone settles the matter. Guys, just stop pretending you're Sisyphus. You're not. You got rejected by a woman and now you think you're a superhero. You lost your job and you think the world hates you. Sorry, no. But I'll go further. Let me explain the problem. You're pushing your boulder uphill as an act of rebellion against the gods. Absurdism is inherently vanity. You want to imagine yourself happy? No. That's fucking weak. That's a coward's mindset. Tell me, what happens when there's no gods to rebel against? What happens when that boulder begins to crush you and you can't push it? What happens when you're not stupid enough to believe happiness actually exists? I'll tell you what you do. You do it anyway. You rebel against your own nature. You push the fucking boulder even as you lose the battle. You don't need to pretend anyone's watching you. Sisyphus needed an audience. You don't need an audience. You don't want an audience. I've seen what people fucking cheer for in this world. I don't want you cheering for me. I'll do it anyway, and I'll do it without anyone watching. I don't need the validation of other people. Certainly not any gods. I'll do the right thing because it's not enough to be absurd. When absurdity confronts itself, it needs an audience. What I'm saying is to fucking do it anyway, and accept that happiness isn't going to save you. Accept that you're here, and you can still give it your all. The only thing that truly matters, is your effort, your endurance. This is the most beautiful thing you can do. I mean, you shouldn't have to, but you can do it anyway. Or be a coward and live with it. At the end of the day, you only have yourself to judge. It's a rebellion to yourself, not some magical god in the sky, and not society. It's the most honest expression you can make. You're going to fail no matter what in the end, but every imperfect success becomes godlike. Every time you defy yourself without some kind of external validation, you win. That's the closest thing to ultimate purpose you'll ever find in life. And if you're gonna die, you may as well go berserk. Go follow your obsessions. Who cares if it's cringy or weird or looked down upon? Good. Go do it anyway. Go build your impossible thing. Go terrify yourself. Why must we exist? To suffer, they say. No, that's life's job. Your job is the opposite. You exist to say fuck you. But I'll inject you with a bit of self-esteem as well. You're not weak. The fact that you exist, you feel, you overthink, all that jazz, that makes you stronger than God. If God does exist, he's hiding somewhere in the clouds. He's embarrassed. I mean, if I created all this, I know I would be. Meanwhile, you're out here doing all the hard work. Your flaws are what makes consciousness able to lift itself up, along with others around you. Furthermore, you're tiny, insignificant. You're practically nothing. But that's what also makes you powerful. You're the annoying mosquito. Galaxies move too slowly, stars can't choose anything, black holes are lonely emos with nothing to do, and particles? Well, they can't write stories. But you're actually the perfect size. These giant systems, they can't defy their own laws. But you can. Impossibility is your playground. Just fucking go for it. You're going to die anyway. Nature can't really produce anything besides a chemical mixture. So go make art, go write stories. Go make something horrifying, go be compassionate. And even if no one notices, it matters even more. It means you can be a good person without some kind of false reward in heaven. Religious people need God to tell them that rape and murder is wrong. That's not beautiful, that's just ugly. So go be your own God, and you can do it better. Beauty is your ultimate rebellion, even if it means you sat in bed on a day you were depressed and miserable, and you hated everything and everyone around you, and you decided to go get shit done anyway, and nobody knows how hard it was for you. Just to crawl out of bed took immense effort. Congratulations, that was the most important thing in the universe. No, I'm serious. So, let me wrap up this optimistic lens of mine. Again, religion just wants to give you false comfort. Nihilism, it says nothing matters. Optimists pretend that everything gets better. Existentialists just give you anxiety. There's been a resurgence of stoicism on the internet, by the way. And this isn't real stoicism. It's more like online grifters who never read a fucking book in their life besides meditations, if even that. But even classic stoicism expects you to remain silent. No, that's not good enough. Go build something in the universe designed to ruin everything. You're a fucking glitch. That's what you are, a glitch. Even if you succeed just briefly, just momentarily, you've already beaten the universe at its own game. That's it. That's the most dangerous kind of optimism I can give you guys. With all that said, I don't know if next year is going to be better or worse. Probably worse, but who knows? That's partially up to you. What I've done is I've also given myself some challenges to make next year a little bit better, hopefully. To be honest, this year wasn't so bad. Nothing terrible happened to me. The biggest thing was that I felt anxious as I usually do, that I wasted a bunch of time. I feel like even though I reached certain goals, I didn't really feel fulfilled. I mean, I was practically born anxious, though. I don't understand how people live without anxiety. Whether or not I reached this goal, though, or most goals, I always basically felt the same. I mean, I think that's because I wasn't absorbed in the process. If you have to go do something for the sake of the goal alone, just go do something else. Find something that allows you to get lost in the process. Stop worrying about wasting time to finish a project. As long as you get lost in the process, it's impossible to waste time. Anyway, here's some challenges I've given myself to help make next year a little bit smoother, hopefully. What we need is just the bare minimum. I genuinely think that if every single person tried these, it would solve half the issues on planet Earth. Okay, maybe like 10%, but hey, that's pretty good considering we're headed into an apocalypse. Pretty good. And you don't have to take on all these challenges. Pick a few, or write them down, or tell me to fuck off, I don't care. Okay, so first, delay your reactions by 10 seconds. That's it. Give yourself 10 seconds to just shut up and think. Before you hit send, or before you scream at someone, or before you honk your horn, before you correct someone, before you make a questionable decision, just remember 10 seconds. Don't go ruining your reputation in relationships over 10 seconds. Don't do it. I'm pretty sure if every politician took this into consideration, it would have saved us from a lot of disgrace. Go tattoo 10 on your hand if you have to. 10 seconds, that's it. Or just stare at your hands every time you're about to do something stupid. When you do react, speak slowly. Speak slower than your thoughts. Think first, react after. Easy, right? Alright, next challenge. Drop the overconfidence. Lose it. Practice saying stuff like, I don't know, or I could be wrong, or I need more time. If you can't say this, just walk away. It's not going to cure stupidity, especially not from the normies, but it could help slow the spread of bullshit. The world is already a sewer, just don't add more waste. Okay, next challenge. Ask yourself, are you being entertained or informed? Am I watching trash? Is this important? What do I get out of this? Entertainment just accelerates your despair. It does. Information slows it down. If something makes you feel strongly emotional, like instantly delighted or furious, just assume you're being farmed. You're content. You've turned into a sheep being corralled with the others. Jump over the fucking fence while you can. Seriously, there's nothing to gain here. There's a single question to ask to greatly empower yourself, and it would destroy so many terrible industries at the same time. So ask yourself, what would this look like if no one were trying to sell me anything? Again, what would this look like if no one were trying to sell me anything? I hate when people bitch and moan that the billionaire oligarchs are controlling their lives and they go and submit to them anyway. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's nothing redeeming about those assholes, but the politicians aren't going to save you. You have to accept that no one's coming to save you. It starts by asking the honest questions. Stop blaming the government. They don't care about you. They're bought and paid for. It's ordinary people that ruin it for everyone else. Who do you think elected them anyway? Okay, my next challenge would be, normally I'd say just get rid of social media completely, but even that's too much to ask. A lot of you guys are hooked. Honestly, if I had the power, I would just ban social media completely. The internet was a fucking mistake. I'll give you a much easier challenge though. Ready? Okay. Do not publicly humiliate anyone who can't realistically respond. This ties into the first challenge. I'm tired of this bullshit culture that dogpiles on these people who just get shamed and labeled guilty before they have a chance to defend themselves. I don't fucking care if the most popular YouTubes just shat all over them. They don't need your shit on top of it. Nobody needs it. Especially not you. Let's stop this bullshit ritual of publicly shaming strangers. It's fucking disgusting, guys. You think it's justice and you get that quick dopamine hit, but you've just infected yourself and someone else you don't even know. In this day and age, guys, the internet remembers everything. Just don't do it. Okay, so far. See, these aren't that difficult, right, guys? Basically, don't be an asshole. Okay, challenge number 4. Assume that most people aren't evil or brilliant geniuses. Don't be too extreme. Why? I mean, it's obvious, but maybe instead of good or evil, they're more like cornered creatures. And when cornered, animals behave poorly. So don't assume the worst in people you don't know. They carry shit on their back from other people already. You don't need to sling more at them. And let's stop cultivating these grifters, especially these so-called influencers. They're overconfident. No, one beautiful woman doesn't speak for all women. And no, just because someone won a Nobel Prize doesn't mean their idea magically debunks evolution. And yes, if some popular grifter/podcaster on YouTube is interviewing other known grifters and scammers, they're probably selling you bullshit. Even if you listen just for the drama, refer back to challenge number 3. Turns out, 99% of content fails that litmus test. Shocking, I know. Alright, final challenge. I was going to do more, but let's be honest, no one can remember more than 5 of anything anyway. I'd say this is the most important challenge, though. Do one thing well, every day, even if no one else notices. Especially if no one else notices. One thing, that's it. Go write a shitty poem. Tomorrow, it'll be 1% worse. Just kidding, better. But give it 3 months and maybe you'll be an expert. Again, the idea is to get lost in the process. You can't get lost in something until you've gotten the rhythm for it. But you also want to be left in the dark. What would be the point of navigating a maze if you saw arrows pointing the way the entire way out? It ruins it. But work on just one craft every day for a few minutes. And maybe a few minutes turns into an hour, then 2 hours. But you also find something interesting. That your standards are even higher when you're left alone. See, instead of seeking validation from others, you only have yourself to judge. And we all know everyone is their own harshest critic. For example, if you competed for something, you might just take shortcuts to get first place. But shortcuts are pointless when you're always going to be first and last place. Suddenly, you've become your own brutal judge. Your quality improves. Civilizations were basically built by invisible people. Think about it that way. They weren't charismatic or interesting or anything like that. They weren't heroes, not in the conventional sense anyway, but when you create, craft, observe, and revise, when you do all this, when you do this ruthlessly without an audience or any metrics, you're building a foundation. People remember all the pretty lights and decorations, but they don't appreciate the heart of it. They never will. But they rely on you. It's a fucking burden. But it's honest fucking work and there's nothing shameful about it. It's like a cook whose food is flawless, but no one takes a picture of it. So why not just make it half-assed? Because effort is all that matters if we only live once. If you can't be honest with anyone else, I get it, people suck, at least be honest with yourself. You deserve it. At least take some pride in your own work. Ain't no one gonna appreciate it like you will. That won't happen. Just appreciate it for yourself. Not everyone can be a hero. But if everyone was a hero for their unsung craftsmanship, then almost everyone would be a hero. So work hard and don't worry if you remain anonymous. You have a kind of untouchable power that money can't buy because you don't need anyone's permission or validation. That's fucking class. Share your work if you want. Just not too early, I'd say. Don't beg for praise or validation. Because the entire point was the process. As soon as you go giving your effort to someone else, you're stripping yourself of that most valuable aspect. See, they can polish it, they can critique it, but they can't give it depth. Only you can. So, go work on one thing every day, even if no one else notices you. It changes who you are while doing it. Even if you wanted some kind of divine approval, even if God noticed you, it would diminish your actions. A God tells his subjects what to do. A lonely heart answers to no one. That's the difference. Seriously, even if God were watching you and you knew it, it bastardizes your work. It makes you ask yourself, why am I doing this? What do I earn? You don't need approval, you just need necessity. Necessity outranks everything, including God. So, go be a master, or a slave, I don't care. Do both. But your work is more you when less people interfere with it. It doesn't need any kind of justification. It's shameless and it's pure. I think Emil Cioran wrote a line about authenticity. It said, "Write books only if you are going to say in them the things you would never dare confide to anyone." Pretty powerful, right? So work on your arts and crafts the same way. And on that note, one more thing before I say farewell. I've mentioned this for a while, but I finally did start another channel where I focus on fictional writing, just for fun. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, like book reviews, short stories, science fiction, and other crazy, terrifying ideas, just go ahead and check it out if you want. Just keep in mind I'm very compartmentalized, so it might have a slightly different, we'll say, atmosphere than the people who might listen to this channel. But you're welcome to check it out, and if you are interested, send me a message. I'll link you to the channel. If I haven't uploaded here in a while, there's a good chance I'm working over there on that channel. But whether I'm here or there, my focus is basically going to remain the same. It's on literature, philosophical essays, and I don't know, maybe some movie commentary, book commentary. The main reason is because if I don't keep myself interested, then I'll never end up making any more videos whatsoever. And with all that said, just take care, guys. Check out the challenges, think about them, consider them. Don't be an asshole, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.